Hey guys, it is Friday, November the 16th. I hope you guys are enjoying your optional teacher workday. I am recording for the first time in our little mini studio here, so I hope the audio is better this time and we won't have the little whirring fan of my poor little MacBook stressing out trying to record everything. So, first of all, let me just quickly review what we've already covered in the course. So, we started off with overcoming digital intimidation, which was designed to throw a bunch of tools out at you guys, get the stress and anxiety out of the way, and learn how to manage picking tools and overcoming the overwhelming feeling that you get whenever you see all of these different tools. Also remember to, when you're looking at tools, remember your end goal for your student learning. So you want to make sure that the tool is user-friendly and actually suits your needs and purposes in using the tool. The next thing we went into was developing a culture of collaboration, which is not only getting your students collaborating, but getting you as teachers collaborating with one another, building your PLN or your professional learning network, and just starting to experience some of those collaborative efforts outside of your own school building. And I've gotten some great feedback on groups that you've joined and PLNs that you're part of and how it has positively impacted your practice. We also discussed the tools that your students can use to collaborate and how to build on collaboration from within your classroom to maybe just within your school, moving outside of your school, outside of your state, and then globally. As we continued on, we went into promoting student voice through giving them options for how they complete assignments and turn in assignments to you, to give them an opportunity to pick the tool that they are more comfortable with creating their work in and their product of learning. So that covers us up until this point. Your assignments should have been posted by last night. Our schedule moving forward is I'll do this recording, I'll release it today, and then give you time to review it and develop your next assignment. We will meet one more time. That is the Thursday after Thanksgiving. I think it's November 29th, and we'll just kind of wrap up. I'll take any questions you may have, and then you will just have a overall course reflection that I'll need for you to turn in. That is not a discussion post. That is something you'll type up in like Pages or Google Docs or whatever format you want to. If you want to do a web page, that's awesome. If you want to do a video, an audio file, any of those things, the sky's the limit. You guys turn in your course reflection to me using whatever tool you are comfortable with. So let's go ahead and hop into today's session, which is session 5, garnering feedback with digital formative assessment tools. Now, I think most of you have had some experience in some form or fashion with using digital tools for formative assessment, whether it be in the form of an exit ticket, an entry ticket, that's any of that feedback is considered formative assessment. So, first of all, I am assuming you know the difference between formative and summative assessments, but if not, a formative assessment is something that you use throughout your coursework to kind of position yourself to help those that maybe aren't getting the content just yet, or whether or not you need to slow down your instruction or speed up your instruction. So you may give like a Kahoot or a quizzes just to get some feedback from your students. Things like polls and surveys, those are great tools as well. Plickers. Plickers is a digital tool in that you as the teacher use a phone or an iPad to scan the classroom, and the students have what looks like a QR code type card that, when turned in a certain direction, answers A, B, C, or D. So you can ask a question, they can hold up their cards, and then you can scan the room and get immediate feedback. So, over here on the right hand side, you'll see there's a video that goes into a little more detail about formative assessments and why they are important. And then I have a box here with links to formative assessment tools. Edutopia is another one of those resources that we mentioned earlier and earlier in the course. So what happens when I go into Edutopia is it usually sends me down a rabbit hole looking at, I just find one thing after the next that just keeps me finding different resources and engaged in the resources that they are offering. So at the bottom of the article that I've posted the link to, there are tools that you can use for formative assessment. Socrative, formative. The Socrative is like a student response system, like a clicker type system, but they can answer on their MacBooks or iPads. There are apps for those. Ones that you may be a little more familiar with: Kahoot, Quizzes, and Quizlet Live. Those are all those game show type formative assessments, and the kids really love, they love to participate. They love the competition piece of it. SmartLab is something that we've had access to for the past 2 years. I'm not as familiar with it, but if you guys have used SmartLab, maybe you could share some information and more details about that. And then Nearpod, we have some folks that are heavy users of Nearpod. And again, this is one of those tools, I know about it. It's been around for a while, but I really haven't used it myself, so I can't speak to it as fluently. But if you are a Nearpod user, reach out to the folks in this class if anyone's interested in learning about Nearpod. There are some free Nearpod activities that you can do, but Nearpod is a subscription based, as is SmartLab. It's subscription based, so you do have to pay an annual fee for those. Formative assessment with videos. That means including or incorporating videos. Edpuzzle is, I have looked at this one, and Edpuzzle is really cool because you can put up the video, and as you go through the video, if you want to pause it and ask the students a question, you can do that in Edpuzzle, and then press play again and it continues on. So that's really cool. Again, I have not used this one myself, but I may have to try that one actually. I'll have to give that a try. Let's recap or explain everything. Explain Everything is a paid app, but it is a fantastic resource to have. It can like capture the student's screen on their iPad, and as they're working through a problem, there is a similar product. The name escapes me right now. Show Me or something like that, where students, for example, could use it to solve a math problem. So they would show their work as they're drawing it out, and then they can upload that file to Haiku, and you can see them and their thought processes as they're going through the problem to solve it. Seesaw is one that I know Tommy has been promoting Seesaw for at least the last year and a half. It is an online tool, and students can upload their work, images, comments, videos, audio recordings, pictures of their work, their artwork or whatnot. And then as a host of the site, teachers can share that with parents, so parents can see the digital work that students are doing, which is something that they don't normally get to see. So that's a great resource for that. And if you need more information on Seesaw, reach out to Tommy Deaton. She is very well versed in using Seesaw in the classroom, and I think she's gotten a number of you folks started on it. So, and then if you go on down through the list, if you were in a school somewhere that didn't have one-to-one like we do, here are, again, there's Plickers, and then these other resources here for not only giving a quiz, but grading a quiz as well. So now here are some strategies for formative assessments and ways that you can use them. So there again are our exit and entry tickets, 1 minute response, think, pair, share, strategic questioning strategies, and just an overall analysis of student work. And then finally, our tools, which is a Padlet with, again, a ton of resources. Now, don't be overwhelmed because, again, a lot of these resources do the same thing. It's just a different format. So that allows you to find something you are comfortable with as an end user to use. So, for example, SurveyMonkey is a surveying tool. Well, you could do the same thing with Google Forms. You could do the same thing with, oh goodness, what's the other poll? I don't see it on here, but there are so many surveying softwares out there and online tools. Answer Garden is a good one. Poll Everywhere, that's the one. Poll EV, Poll Everywhere. So, you know, these are here for you to take a look at. Maybe you want to pick a tool to try out in your classroom. And remember, don't let it overwhelm you. Pick one thing, and if it is too cumbersome to learn, then drop it and pick something else. These tools are supposed to be here to help you, so it really shouldn't be that a laborious task for you to understand and incorporate the tool in your classroom and your curriculum. If it doesn't work for you, if it's not a comfortable feel for you, then drop it and move on to a different tool, because there are just too many options out there to get bogged down with one form of a tool and let it, you know, drag you down and discourage you. So this is a really quick overview. The next assignment, which will be due on November 29th, and I'll change this due date here. So we're already past due if we go by it. I want you to create 3 formative assessments. One for pre-content. So create an assessment that you would give to your students before you introduce the content to kind of garner where they are. I want you to create a formative assessment for mid-content feedback to find out how well your students are grasping the content and if you would need to adjust how you're teaching it, whether you need to slow down or speed up. And then finally, one post-content for understanding of the content. Now this can all take place in one lesson. This doesn't have to be first, I'm going to introduce on a Monday, Wednesday I'm going to do mid-content, and then Friday I'm going to do post-content. This can all happen in one class period. So, or you can span it out over an entire unit. So that is the basis of this assignment, and I'll go in after I'm finished here and change the due date on that. And then this is our last section of the text, ready for the power surge. So you'll just finish up the text and post on the discussion board as well. That is all I have as far as content is concerned for this section. So if you have any questions, always feel free to email me. I appreciate your patience with me. This has been an interesting semester. We have missed a couple of class sessions. I hope it hasn't caused too much frustration and that you are still gaining from having taken this class. So I will not take any more of your time. That's all I have for you today. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I'll get to you as quickly as I can. If not, you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and if I don't see you or talk to you before next week, have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll get back in touch with you all right after Thanksgiving. We'll see you then. Bye.